Hey y'all, it's Dorian Nicole back with another video. Oh, so soon. Are we proud of me or what? I am back with another video, so thank you so much for tuning into the channel. If this is not your first time here, if this is your first time here, whatever the case may be, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are subscribed, then of course, thank you so much for sticking with your girl. I truly appreciate it. If you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, then make sure you give this video a thumbs up, okay? So we're going to get right into the video. As you can tell by the title, this is going to be a plant video. So I am doing a plant update. We are in 2025. My last video, I did a little home update for y'all. So today I figured I would do a little plant update for y'all. So if you have been here before, if this is not your first time, then you know that I started the planting journey maybe a year and a half ago. I don't know. I started with outdoor plants because I have a little front garden situation and I wanted it to look nice. So I started with outdoor plants, but then of course when it got cold, I decided to switch to indoor plants. So I went, I think my last plant video, I went and bought like 5 different plants. So what I will be doing today is repotting some of these plants. Some of these plants have not been doing very well, so they have a lot of brown leaves, a lot of things going on with it that just need to be fixed. So the plants just need to be maintained. So that's what I'll be doing today. I'm going to be maintaining the plants, repotting a couple of them, and just showing you guys like how they've been doing since I got them. I don't remember when I bought these plants. I know it was sometime in, no, was it in the summer? I don't know if it was in the summer or in the spring. I'll try to go back to my other video, my previous video, and find out when I started with these plants, but they started out as very small plants. So they've been doing pretty well, but there are times where like I'm not giving them as much water as they need, not giving them as much sunlight as they need. And unfortunately, we haven't been having a lot of sunlight this winter. So that's what I'll be doing, just like cutting off the dead leaves and kind of fixing the plant up and repotting it. So we're just going to get into it. I'm going to give you an update of my plants and do some indoor plant maintenance. Okay, so let's get into the video. Okay, this is my new little aloe plant that I got from Walmart. Now, I don't usually get plants from Walmart because their plants don't always look the greatest. This plant doesn't really look the greatest, but their plants are very cheap. So this was $5. So I just figured I'd get it because aloe plants are resilient. So hopefully I can bring this plant back to life. But this is the plant. They are full, which is good. They're not leaning. A lot of the other ones were leaning, but this one looks pretty good considering. The only thing about it is the soil is trash. So this is very much like disintegrating. There's no water, no moisture, no anything. So we're going to repot this. So this is my aloe plant. And then I have this plant here, which is my spider plant. This plant hasn't been doing great. It's trying its little hardest, but it hasn't been doing very good. So I think it's time for me to repot this as well. So I'm going to repot this into one of the pots that the bigger plants are in. So this is getting repotted today as well, but this is what it's looking like. I'll put a picture up of what it looked like when I first got it, just so you can see how much it has grown since I got it. And yeah, like I said, it hasn't been doing the greatest, but it's been pretty good. The soil isn't super duper dry, but it's not very damp. So I'm going to repot this and probably add some fertilizer and definitely water it. But this is my spider plant. And then this plant is called a Photonia. I, of course, only got it because the leaves have pink in them. And y'all know my obsession with pink is real. So this is why I got the plant. However, I think this plant requires more maintenance than I originally planned for. So I was trying to get plants that like I didn't have to water every day or whatever. And this plant is not that. This plant has to be watered very often. I don't know if you can see it, but the those aren't the roots. The branches are starting to get that little like white fuzz, and I'm not sure what that is. If you know, drop a comment down below, let me know. I'm assuming it's not good. It could be, but I'm just going to assume that it's not good. So I'm going to repot this as well. This plant was actually super duper small when I first bought it. So it's been doing very well. I'm actually very proud of this plant because I was really worried about it when I first got it because, like I said, it requires a lot of care. So I'm quite proud of myself that this has been doing very well, but I am going to repot it because as you can see, the leaves are starting to grow out of the plant and they're actually starting to grow inside of the plant too. So I'm going to repot this as well into one of the pots that the bigger plant is currently in. But this is my Photonia plant. Okay, so this here is my peace lily, and I am very, very disappointed with myself because this plant was doing so well. It was doing better than the Photonia plant I just showed y'all. This plant was really, really flourishing, and I forgot to water it for like 4 or 5 days, and it was horrible. Like the leaves were literally like drooping over. You, it has really come back to life, but it died. Like it basically died. The leaves were drooping all over, like how these are on the bottom. That's how the whole thing was. As you can see, a lot of these are yellow. So I'm really, really happy that it came back to life because I was really concerned. I thought I was going to lose another plant and it was going to really make me sad. So I'm glad this came back to life. But what I'm going to do, of course, what I have to do is cut off these dead branches, these dead leaves, everything that's yellow, I'm going to cut off. I'm going to repot this into no, I'm not going to repot this into a bigger pot only because I just repotted this. So when it died, it was in a smaller plant. It was in a smaller planter, a smaller pot. So I put it in this bigger pot, I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago. And that's when it came back to life. So I don't want to repot it right now because I just repotted it. However, I do want to kind of mess with some of the soil here because I don't know what's happened. Well, I know what happened. What happened was when I went to repot it, I didn't leave enough room in the bottom for this to really sit in there. And so now this is just up here like this. And although the plant is doing fine, I really want to fix this. So I'm going to cut off the dead leaves on this plant and then I'm going to kind of figure out what's happening with the soil situation, but I'm not going to repot this. This is my little peace lily. And then the last plant that we have is my OG plant. So this is the very first plant I got when I decided I wanted to do this plant mom thing. I believe it's a philodendron. I could be 100% wrong. If you are aware, let me know exactly what this plant is called because I cannot recall. But same as with all my other plants, I was doing very well with this plant and it was really, really growing. This is another plant that also started off smaller, much smaller than this. And at the same time that I kind of forgot about my peace lily, I also forgot about this plant. So this plant kind of did the same thing where a lot of the leaves are dead and, even the ones that are still growing are kind of like turning brown. So I don't know if I should cut off the ones that are turning brown. I might leave them for now. I might just cut off the dead leaves and then kind of figure out what to do with the other ones. But I am going to repot this. So this has been in this pot for quite some time. And although, as you can see, like the roots aren't right at or they don't look like they're right at the seam of the pot, I'm still going to repot this just because I feel like it needs a little more room. So I'm going to repot this into, oh God, this is heavy, into this lovely pot that I got today. I actually bought this from Walmart as well. It does have a hole in the bottom. It is a ceramic pot, but of course it's pink, so I had to get it. So this plant is going to go in here just because this is my OG plant. This is my biggest plant. We're going to put it in here, okay? And then once I take this out and put this in the pink pot, I'm going to put this spider plant in here because this is bigger. It just needs to go in a bigger pot. So we're going to swap these two out. This one, this one I'm going to put in here. So my Photonia plant I'm going to put in here because I think it'll be better in here. This is kind of the same pattern as the big pink one. It's just a different design. And I, of course, really like the color. So I'm going to repot this into here, and then my little aloe plants. I'm probably just going to put it in here for now, just until it starts to grow, and then I'll get more potters. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. I'm doing a lot of repotting and changing some stuff around. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so of course I figure it would be easier for us to start with our biggest plant to get that out the way, especially since we're trying to use this potter. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to cut off the dead branches first. And then I'm going to take it out and put it in the new pot. Okay, so let's see what it's looking like. I always get nervous when I do this part of it because you never really know what's going to happen once you take it out of the pot that it's in to repot it. Like, it always sounds like a good idea, but never really a guarantee. Yeah, some of these are just like really trash. I feel so bad because I was really doing so well with this plant, you know? All right, I think that's all I'm going to do for now. I cut off all the ones that are like dead. But there's still some where like the leaves are starting to turn brown. So I don't know if I should cut them or not. So I'm just going to leave them the way they are for right now and then figure out if I should cut them later on. But let's get to repotting. I'm going to fill her up with soil. This part always makes me nervous. I don't know why. I feel like I'm going to hurt the plant. Sometimes it come out super easy and sometimes it, oh yes, period. Okay, look at that. Period. That's beautiful. Okay. We need more soil though, so let's sit that back in there for a sec. We have got our first plant repotted. I'm going to add a little bit of fertilizer and a little bit of water. This is cute. I love the pink pot. This is the fertilizer that I use. If you watched my last plant video, then I told you all about this fertilizer. It's the same fertilizer. I haven't changed it. I've been using the same one and it's been working perfectly fine. So if you're looking for one, here you go. And so because this is a bigger pot or a bigger plant, I am going to do two. They usually tell you can do one, but if you have a bigger pot, do two. And then we're just going to give her some water. And since this is the first time I'm like watering it in this new pot with this new soil, I'm going to make sure that I give it a really good amount of water. Look at me talking like I know what I'm doing. I really don't, guys. Just kind of going with the flow. Some days I think I'm a great plant mom, and then other days I'm trash. But you know, you win some, you lose some. We take the good with the bad. Okay, let's make sure that we put enough water in here. Ugh. Can't tell because there's nothing coming out the bottom. All right, I think I want to add the rest of this just to be safe because there's a lot of soil in here. All right. So we've successfully potted our first plant. Okay, so since we have taken the big plant out of this potter, we're going to repot our spider plant in this pot. So this one isn't too bad. It doesn't have a lot of dead leaves, but there are a couple. So I'm just going to get rid of those. As you can see, I could just pull them out because they're dead. So I'm going to get rid of all the dead ones. I'm going to add, I probably don't need to add too much beforehand. Oh. I like this plant. This is the plant that eventually they get those. That's what these little branches are. Eventually they get those leaves to kind of just like grow out and over. So I'm waiting for this to do its thing, and I'm hoping that by repotting this, it'll start to flourish because it's become a little stagnant. Oh, this is my least favorite part. Better if you try to loosen up the soil. Oh. Better if you try to loosen up the soil before. Come on. Ooh. Oh wow. I don't know if this is good or bad. I can't really tell, but there's so you know what happened? This was in it, so maybe I must not be putting the soil in here correctly, because see how there are spaces in the soil? So this is from when I took it out of the smaller plant. When I took it out of the smaller pot and put it in this pot here, I obviously didn't put enough soil in there, or I didn't put the soil in there good enough because it didn't really get all around it. And that is probably why it's not doing the greatest. All right, so we about to hook homegirl up. All right, I think that's good enough. I kind of want the leaves to like. All right, I guess they'll do it. They'll do its thing eventually. Let's leave these on. Okay, so we're gonna fertilize. I think we're only gonna do one pump for this plant because it's not super duper big. So it's one nice little pump, and then some water. All right, so our spider plant is now repotted. I think it's pretty good. I'm hoping that the soil really got down there and around the plant, unlike last time. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And I think I got all of the dead leaves off. So this is what we got. Our spider plant is repotted. Pretty. Ooh. Look at it though. All right. Who's next? Oh, so let's pot our aloe plant in here since we're finished with this one. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's big enough for our aloe plant. So this one, I'm really gonna try my hardest to like really do good with this one because I already killed one aloe plant. I don't want to kill another aloe plant. I would be devastated. And I'm only trying this again because my mom has an aloe plant. Oh, look at it. It's not great. Okay. Yeah, I'm only trying this again because my mom has an aloe plant. We got the first aloe plant that I got, her and I got it at the same time. We got the same plant. And when I tell y'all, her plant is doing so good. Like, got all these new aloe leaves. They like real big. It's like the aloe that you see at the market when you try to go buy aloe. That's what she got going on. And it started from this. So like, I'm very hopeful. I know that it can be done because she did it. So I'm going to attempt again and we're going to see what happens. Oh no. All right. She's a little crooked, but we're just going to let her. We're going to let her chill out and see what she does. I'm so nervous about this plant, y'all. All right. Fertilize and water. And so for these, it says that you only have to water them when they get like bone dry. So I'm going to overwater it now because it's been bone dry since I bought it. And I don't know when they watered it before I bought it. So what I may have to do is come back in a couple of days and just check on all of them to see if they need a little extra water, just because we put so much soil in here to repot them. But this is good for right now. So here's our aloe. I don't like how this is leaning though. This is gonna bother me, y'all. This is gonna bother me. I wish I had like a stick or something to put there just to hold it up. I'm gonna see if I can find something later to hold it up because that's gonna bother me. But this one is the one that I want to put in here. I'm gonna put this guy in here. This is a little deeper, so I think that'll work for this. I'm glad I got 2 bags because one wouldn't have cut it. All right, so fortunately, this one doesn't have any like super dead leaves, I don't think. Oh, how can I take this? My hands aren't big enough. I can't pull it because I'm scared to pull it. Oh, you know, I don't want to pull it. Let's just try to. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Not too shabby. Pretty good. This soil's still very moist, which is great. Look at me. I did good. Oh. Okay, so we're just gonna. Should I not put this in here? All right, now I'm scared to put this in here. Should I reconsider this? Or should I just... Yo, what? Okay. But then how do I know that there's enough soil in there? What did I do? I mean, it's cute, but like, can it breathe in here? I'm concerned. Yeah, I don't know. I'm real concerned. I don't know. I don't know if I should keep this in here, but if I don't have another pot. The only thing that I could do is put my peace lily in this big planter, this one here. But this is bigger than that, and this plant is bigger than that one. So, you know, all right, I'm gonna leave this in here for a couple of days and see how it does. And if it looks like it starts to go downhill, then we're just gonna move her into. But then how would I get it out of here? See, no. Nope. Because then if I let it sit in here and it kind of like gets comfortable in here, how the heck do you get it out of here? Yeah, like I just struggle putting it in here. So how the heck would I get it out? This is nuts. How would I even attempt this? Oh, God. No. It's stuck now, y'all. Oh, it's definitely stuck in there. I'm gonna have to break it up to get it out of here. This is crazy. Shit. Okay, yeah, no. No, ma'am, Pam. We are not doing that. Okay, so we have to figure this out. I don't really want to put it back. Should I just put it back in here? All right, I'm gonna have to just put this one back in here until I can find a better pot, because this isn't gonna work. Yeah, what? That just stressed me out. Like, huh? No, thank you. No, thank you. Show. Talk about a disaster. All right. This was a disaster, but we've put it back in the pot. I just added some more soil and gave it some fertilizer and water. So hopefully it'll be fine. But I'm going to try to get a bigger pot, a wider pot. I don't know what I was thinking with this. I'll try to get a wider pot and then repot this. But I might, now that I've just took it out and put it back in, I might let it sit in here for a couple weeks before I repot it, just so that I don't do too much damage to it. But yeah, this is our little Photonia plant. I love the pink, so pretty. All right, anyway, moving on. Last plant. All right, we can move this, and that sucks because this is a really cute potter. I have to find something else to put in it. Yeah, I have to find something else to put in. All right, so our little piece, Lily. So sad, such a sad story. Okay, so like I said, I'm not going to repot her just yet because I just repotted her last week. So all I'm going to do is clean up the dead leaves and just top off the soil and make sure that everything is good. So yeah, I'm still a little concerned about this plant. Considering the fact that the leaves came back to life, the ones that weren't dead came back to life, I am a little hopeful that there's still hope for the plant. So we're gonna have to wait and see, because of how I planted it wrong when I repotted it last week. A lot of the leaves, the new leaves that are coming in, are yellow and brown, like they're already dead. So hopefully this works. Okay, so here's our peace lily. For now, she's coming back to life. She's healing. I am happy. Ooh. And that is all of our plants. So not a whole lot, of course, but they did need to be looked at, and a little care needed to be done because I was really neglecting my plants. Okay, so let's get rid of this and then I'll come back and we'll talk. All right, y'all, so here are our plants, and let me just say that I'm very proud of myself, okay? Because I would have never, especially this one here, this is my prized possession, okay? Because this one is great. This is the one I've had the longest. This is the one that has been doing the best. So really, really love this plant. But I love all of my plants. I'm very, very happy about this. I'm very excited about this. I'm trying to hold off on getting new plants until I kind of like master these plants, and I haven't done that yet because clearly they've went through some phases. So I'm not going to get any more plants anytime soon. I'm just going to keep focusing on these plants. So I'm glad that I was able to come and give them a little TLC today. hopefully they will start to grow again and do well. So here's what we had. I had them all upstairs in my office, which was fine, but like I'm not in there as often. So that is why it's easy for me to neglect them, because I'm not in my office as often as I probably should be. So instead, I'm going to move all of these down here. I'm just going to keep them down here. I'm going to try to find a plant stand so that they can be like nicely set up in the living room, and I'm going to call it a day. And then hopefully that will help me to care for them a little better. Okay. So this is what we have. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know it wasn't much, but I figured since I've been showing you guys the process of my plant mom journey, I would show you guys the update. I am hopeful, fingers crossed, that the next time I come to do a plant update, I won't have any almost dead plants, or I won't have any sad stories for my plants, and they all will just be doing very well. So pray for me. Of course, if you have any tips about plants, anything that I can do to help maintain my plants, anything you have for me, let me know down in the comments. Make sure you like this video if you liked this video, and of course I will see you all in the next one.